Hey guys, hey YouTube, Dr. K and are coming to you from the garage layout for a mid-February update. Want to let everyone know what I've been working on lately. Basically, a lot. We've been working on a lot. Last update, we just had the background and the bench work. So starting off, we do have some scenery. The track is on Woodland Scenics grade, which is really fun to work with. 2% grade, and then scenic around it. So we're doing some testing earlier, making sure everything's working well. We have some Woodland Scenic rock molds, as well as some rock molds I made myself, actually from aquarium rocks that I had laying around. Followed Southern Alberta Rails technique in the members only section on how to make my rock molds. Really happy with how they turn out. This is one of mine. These are molds that I made, and then Woodland Scenics right here, and then some more of mine, some more Woodland Scenics. Just trying to blend everything together and give it that Montana look, but more than just what's available off the shelf. So you can see Henry and Hudson, my almost 2 and just turned 3-year-old, have been doing some construction. And it's kind of fun that construction site seems to follow the scenery build. So it used to be over here, now we're over here. Anyways, working our way down the layout. This is gonna be creek bed molded in here. Should be really fun to do some water effects and do some more foam work on this side, but want to do far side first. Continuing on, double track main line over another nice water function. As Susie pointed out, why does your layout say Nimrod? Well, Nimrod, Montana is a really small town that found some really neat scenic areas that fit really well with what we're building. Won't be 100% prototypical or to scale, but we have some similar parts as Nimrod, Montana through this area, with a little camping area along the creek, and where the Middle Fork Flathead River meets, what did I call it? Bear Creek, I believe. Yep, Bear Creek Boat Launch and Campground is going to be right here. Going to go around, and then the creek and the Middle Fork Flathead River are going to converge right around here and go under there and into Imagination Land. Continuing around, I was planning on doing some more prototypical scenery, but then I also decided I do like operations, and kind of gonna have to do a little bit of flexing on reality versus this is still a model railroad and we don't have the whole garage to use, although Henry, my 3-year-old, said, "Dad, let's just build this thing around the whole garage next." I said, you know what, that'd be a great idea, but Mom's Suburban needs to be in here and Dad's truck needs to be in here, especially when we have hurricanes down in Florida. So right here, not prototypical, but should be fun. Thinking either some sort of mine, gravel pit. My buddy in England, John, somewhere in SoCal, you guys all know on Instagram, he came up with a couple of good ideas. We talked about mines. We also talked about grain elevators, etc. I think I'm going to put some grain elevators along into this area on the peninsula. The peninsula is going to be way less scenery heavy, more track heavy, industrial heavy for the operations. Speaking of operations, back corner over there, another, let's call it a town in Montana, maybe Essex, something like that. We talked about whitefish in the last video being up here, but I think whitefish is going to make its way into the yard, and then town industry over here. But up there in Essex, we might do some sort of industry that we can do some switching on, and it's nice to have that background behind there, signifying a little industrial mountain area. Let's see, going on back this way. Really excited how the scenics are turning out. I've used Sculptamold on previous renditions of the layout, but right now we're doing some Cellu clay. It's taking a lot longer to dry, but it was way easier to work with. And I'm really liking the texture. I think it'll look awesome once we get some paint on it and some scenic, grass, etc., static grass. Right here, this wasn't here last time. Behind that is our electrical panel. Mounted it with magnets. There's our Kato DC power supply. I was using that, running some DC locomotives. A lot easier to do my testing with DC than DCC, just from a wiring standpoint. I can run this whole layout off of one feeder in that little Kato test track. Yes, that's not to NMR standards or anything like that, but it works really well. We actually can do a little bit of running right now if we want. Oh, I need to turn it on. There she goes. It's taking off. Classic. Real life. Dropped it while I was trying to film. So I'd moved it out of the way. We had it sitting up here for real testing. Plug it back in. We're like, wow, your camera skills are terrible. I am a dad. Dads are supposed to have bad camera skills. So anyways, going down over there. Gonna take it around this corner. Gonna pause, reverse, and take her back. As my friends at the West Pasco Model Railroad Club say, usually do things in Billy speed, so let's see some Billy speed. A lot easier to do on DCC, just go prototypical creeping up this 2% grade into Henry and Hudson's construction site. I mean, I think this just looks awesome. It's gonna look really cool with getting realistic trees in here. Gonna blend in really nicely with that background from trackside scenery. Just look at that perspective. Really cool. We've got a little cabin up there, general store that'll be for all of our hikers to resupply while out hiking in N-Scale, Montana, through Mariah's Pass, as we call it. Watching a lot of YouTube on Mariah's Pass. That's definitely where we're getting our inspiration from for this layout. But track is running really well. All I did to clean it was literally shop vac it. We've not run any cleaning cards on it or any cleaning sprays or whatnot, but it's running well. That bridge is really sketchy. It's not realistic. The old sketchy bridge that is called. Having toddlers in the layout room, which things do break. That's why they make super glue and patience pants. So being a dad of toddlers, we go through a lot of super glue and I have to practice my patience, which is cool, but it's really fun to have the boys being super interested in my hobby. Henry's been doing a lot of work on his Lionel little layout in his room. That's been fun. And anyways, let's just run this guy back up. Maybe you guys are getting bored. I don't know, it's kind of fun seeing a train run on this layout. Trains have not been running out here in a really long time, but she's running real well. This is a Kato SD70MAC DC unit. We've got the DCC board sitting in the cabinet, ready to go in. Just sit down one day and pop a bunch of boards in all of these DC locomotives, but she works really well for testing in these scenes. So love testing with DC. So I keep repeating myself on that, but there she is. Let me know what you guys think. That's what's going on. Coming up next, or maybe not in the next video, but on my mind, I'm trying to figure out, are we gonna do a background on this masonite? Maybe make the masonite bigger, use another piece to cover the bottom part, and do some sort of bridge scene, like a diorama, just crossing over and then, I don't know, scenic the base a little bit. I really need access to that outlet. That's the GFI breaker for the garage. The big box is obviously for the whole house. Right here is gonna be a reverse loop leading into the scenic and decorated, or whatever you call it. Put some industry and some scenes on there, but that's gonna be staging and we will continue the masonite across. That's just in place right now, but we'll do another big background from Trackside Scenery. Awesome company. You guys should definitely look them up. Their YouTube is really inspirational, really helpful. And I mean, look at this background. Let's just do a little plug for them. I mean, yes, I didn't apply it perfectly. I'm not a pro at wallpapering. It's not wallpaper, it's paper. But in the grand scheme of things, it's gonna look really, really cool when this thing is scenic, just giving it a totally different perspective than my classic sky blue paint that I've had on the old layouts. Let me know what everyone thinks. What do you guys want to see next? Any ideas, etc.? Can't wait to hear from you. Oh, here's another thing we've been working on lately. Starting to learn how to make trees. I've been following, again, Southern Alberta Rails tutorials. These are my first 10 or 11 trees I've made. We've got some more in the works over here, but I'm definitely seeing an improvement. I think that guy's made like 20,000 trees so far, so way better than me. But after 10, I'm not too sad about how they're looking. Can't wait. Anyways, talk to you guys soon. Look for you in the comments, and we'll get back to you. Oh, last thing, I am off of Instagram right now. Gave it up for Lent. Gonna see how that goes. Might give it up for longer. That's why you won't see any updates on there of the layout, but stay tuned for some more frequent updates this next month from YouTube. Thanks again for watching, guys, and talk to you soon.